If you're here, please, could you just let me know? Sorry, I'm late. I had issues with my other setup, so I had to set up a new live. So if you're joining me, if you're already here, just comment below. Let me know you're here, and let me know where you're watching from. Hello, 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 hello. Who is here? Type in your comment section. Let me know where you're watching from, and so we can commence. Can you hear me? Can you even hear me? If you're here, can you hear me? Let me see. I can't see any name here. I can't see the names. I think this would have been better off. Hello, 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 hello. Please, if you're here, let me know so we can start the session. If you're already here, let me know in the comment section. Let me know. Tell me where you're watching from, and once we have a good number, we can start. Or if you have any questions, you could just type it in the comment section, and then I'll look through it before we start. I can't see anybody. I can't see anybody. If you're here already and you're watching me, if you can see me, let me know in the comment section. Can you hear me? I am here from South Africa. Oh, okay, good. This is Edmond Isaac from South Africa. Thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you so much. So if you just joined, let me know from the let me know in the comment section that you've just joined. Um, I had issues with my previous live setup, and I had a little bit of glitch, and I had to just set up a new one. So apologies for coming on late, 5 minutes late. Apologies, please. So if you're here, thank you so much for joining me this evening. This is a clarity session on everything that is on my channel, but more especially the my video I posted on investing and Dangote IPO. I had lots of questions coming in from that video, and I just felt it would be nice if I do a live session, answering those questions and clarifying those details people had. So if you have any questions, if you're here already, you have any questions, just let me know your question and I will be answering them. You can type your questions in the comment section, please. If you're here, you can go ahead and type your questions in the comment section. Thank you. I'm just trying to set up a post in the community section to let others know that the live has been moved to this other place. So joining from Rwanda. Oh, thank you so much. This is Samson Oyewole. Yeah, Samson, thank you for joining from Rwanda. Thank you for joining. I am trying to do a quick post in my community section to let others know that The live session has just been moved to this place, so others can join. Right now we are less than 10. So, but that notwithstanding, if you have any questions, anything you want me to clarify, just type it in the comment section and I will attend to it, because this is like a clarity section. This is basically a clarity section. So in case there's anything I've posted on my channel and you want clarification, you want to ask me any questions, feel free. This is the time for it, please. Feel free, go ahead, type your questions. If it's about the Dangote Refinery IPO, you're also free to ask anything you want to ask on the comment section. Or anything about investing, anything you don't understand about. I mean, some people say they are complete beginners, they don't even know where to start from. I've made videos already to explain further to people who are beginners, but that video will probably come on sometime this week. So if you're at the beginner stage, let me know. If you're already investing, you've invested in different instruments in the past, also let me know, so I know where you're starting from or where you're standing. Are you a beginner? Are you a guru? Are you already into investing? And oh, beginner, okay. Adaki baby. Oh, beginner, thank you for letting me know, and thank you for joining. So where are you joining from? What country are you joining from, please? Lagos. Oh wow, that's nice. Thank you for joining from Lagos. I'm so glad to have you here today. So you say you're a beginner. I've actually made a video, like I said. That video will come on maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, to explain for all my beginners, people who are just starting up their investment journey, because it's very important when you're starting up. The foundation matters. There are some certain things you need to understand too before you get into investing your money. So I've made that video especially for those who are beginners, and I mean every other person can watch it, but it is basically for beginners. So that video will come up. But in case you have any other question you want to ask me about investing, or about any other of my video, just let me know. In case we lose contact, kindly update me on Dangote IPO. Oh yeah, everything will be on my channel. Everything. I have an update coming up. Maybe tomorrow. There's a lot coming up this week, so that video is also going to be on my channel. Everything will be on my channel, so you want to keep in touch with. You want to be subscribed first of all. Be subscribed so that anytime I post subsequent videos, you would be able to see that. When do you think the Dangote IPO will be ready? Around June, July. They've specifically said 2 to 3 months from now. So if we are looking at 2 to 3 months from now, that should be June, July. So around June, July. Dangote Group has already said, they've come up to say in 2 to 3 months from now. So that has already given us a clue. So if you're planning to invest in the Dangote Refinery stock, just get ready between June, July. Yeah. So how do I pronounce his name? Adakibe. Just bear with me, please. Thank you once again. Do you have any question about investing? What would you like to know? What would you like to know about investing? Because investing is a whole lot. And like I said, I've made a video which would be very useful to you if you watch it. But because you're here, in case there's anything you want to know, just type it in the comment section, and let me see. So this is like I said, this is a clarity session for those who have followed my channel in the last couple of weeks. I've posted, quite a bit of videos on my channel. So in case there's any video you have questions about, but more especially invest, I think that's where people have the most interest, because that video I posted about Dangote Refinery Ipo, sort of sparked some. Let me see. Who is okay? Okay, you're joining from Kenya. Okay. That video sort of, brought a lot of questions. People were asking lots and lots of questions. Can they invest from their various African countries? Can they, people that are in the diaspora? Just a whole lot of questions. And I felt I should do a one-time live session to answer some of those questions. What investment would you advise a middle-aged person who wants to invest? Wow. Investment is a whole lot. Investment is a whole lot. An investment depends on so many things. It depends on your capital, how much you want to invest. It also depends on your risk tolerance. Now, like I said, I did a video. It will be very helpful and very useful if you watch that video. That video might come up between, let's say, between Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, there's investment in stocks, like the Dangote IPO that is coming up. Those are stocks. There's investments in properties. There's investment in bonds. So it just depends. And I've already explained all of these things in that video. So it depends on your risk tolerance. The higher the reward, the higher the risk. So we all know that stocks, people love stocks because of how volatile stocks are. Stocks can just shoot up. Like you can find a stock at, let me say, at 50 naira today, and in the next 1 week, that same stock will just go up to 200, 250, 300 naira, giving you almost 100, 200% return on that investment. So let's say you bought at 50 naira and you bought up to 200,000 stocks at 50 naira. Let's do that calculation quickly. Time 200,000 stocks times shares times 50. Okay, no, let's be moderate, because that is already giving us 10 million naira. So let's just be moderate. So let's say you bought 1,000 or 5,000. Okay. Let's say you invested let's say you invested 250,000 naira buying a stock, which is also known as shares. So I could use both words interchangeably. If I say share, stock, they all mean the same thing. So let's say you bought a share of a company. Let's take out Dangote Refinery out of the picture and say Dangote Cement. Let's say you bought Dangote Cement when it was selling at 50 naira. And in a week's time or in 2 weeks' time, Dangote shares moves up to 250 naira. And you bought it at 50 naira and you bought 5,000 shares. 5,000 shares times 50 naira, that should give us 250,000 naira. So what you invested buying that share was 250,000 naira. And now if Dangote shares moves up in a week's time to 250 naira per share, remember you bought at 50 naira, and this share now suddenly moves up in a week's time to 250. Now, if you do that calculation, so that is more than 500% on your investment. So in a week's time, you've made more than 500 to 1,000% return on your investment, which is quite a lot. So I'm just trying to explain to you how shares work and how volatile it can be. Like it could just go up, but as volatile as it is in terms of reward, that is also how much volatile it is in terms of risk. So the same way that stock shoot up, it can also, some factors can also make it to drop even up to that point. A shares can be selling at 15 naira today, and in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, if things can just work against it, and that shares will drop to zero naira. We've seen it happen before. So a lot can happen when it comes to stock and shares. So there's also investment in land, which requires more capital but is less risk. There's investment in bonds. Bonds are like government giving you, government borrowing money from you, so to say. So the government might say, oh, we need a certain amount of money and we want to borrow money from the public. Or they might want to restrict cash in the hands of the public and they'll say, oh, bring your cash to us and then in return we'll give you a percentage. So let's say you borrow the government 100,000 naira and the profit, the return for that investment, for that lending you did, it might be like 20%. The government might say, okay, we'll pay you 20% return, 20% profit for this amount of money you borrowed us. Any amount of money, you can pay you up to 20%. So that is basically what bond is. And the reason why bonds are less risky is because I mean, the government cannot fail. The government cannot run away with your money. That's why people like it. People prefer it. They cannot suddenly disappear with your money. So if they say we are going to pay you this money in 2 years' time, in 1 year time, in 5 years' time, you're rest assured that that money is going to come back to you within that period of time. So there's just a whole lot about investing and that's diving into it. And then when it comes to stock is a whole lot of explanation also. So please just watch that video. What I've just done, I've only scratched the surface. So just watch that video. It will give you more clarity on investing. Around June, July, what will be the base dollar to start a good portfolio? Well, it depends on how much you just want to you can. I always tell people, invest as much as you can afford to forfeit, because that's what they call risk tolerance. Investment is not always the way it seems. Sometimes it could go up, sometimes it could go high. So invest in money that you know that I can, if anything happens, I'll be very comfortable and very okay with this. We always hope for the best. We want our money to bring so much return on our investment, but invest as much as you can tolerate. I can't really tell you, oh, this is how much you should put in, this is how much dollar you should have. I can't really go into telling you that because I don't know what your finances are like. But invest as much as your risk, your tolerance can take. Yeah. And the one thing I would also advise, do not, just like they say, do not put all your baskets, do not put all your eggs in one basket. That statement holds true. Try to spread out your investment. Do not, just say, oh, I've saved this amount of money and in all my savings I have $1 million or I have $5,000 and this is all my life savings, and you just take it and put into one portfolio or one investment platform. No, I wouldn't advise that. Spread out your investment, spread it out into different things. It could be different stocks, it could be different shares, but just spread it out. Just a minute. Sorry. Okay. So I'm seeing that some more people have joined us. If you're just joining me, just let me know where you're joining from. Thank you for joining, and let us know where you're joining from. And if you have any questions, feel free, type it in the comment sections, and I would be, and I'm here to answer any question you might have. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining this session. It's a clarity session. There's been a few videos on my channel, and I don't know how many of them you've watched. And if you have any questions concerning any of the videos on my channel, please let me know. Feel free to ask. If it's based on investing, Dangote's IPO, because I know that that is one video that brought a lot of questions and a lot of interest as well. So people are interested in investing, including people in the diaspora, people from other African countries. They were asking lots and lots of questions. So I decided to organize this live session to explain all of that. So if you have any questions, let me know where you're joining from, what country you're joining from, and then go ahead and ask me your questions. Why I set up my community post. Okay. So Isaac from South Africa, I see you're here. Do you have any question? Do you want to ask any question? Do you need any clarification? Samson from Rwanda, any question? You advise me when do you okay in case I lose contact and the update. Okay. Someone said in case I lose contact, please don't lose contact, okay? Try and follow me on other social media channels so that you would not lose contact. We don't want to lose you. So try and be subscribed first on this YouTube platform and try to follow me on other social media channels, please. So who else is here? If you're just joining, thank you for coming on this live. Okay, Adeolu. Okay, you said you wanted. Good morning, I'm Adeolu in Houston, Texas. Said I wanted to find out when Dangote will be going public. So the Dangote group, like I said, have come out to say they are going. The IPO is going to go live around 2 to 3 months from now. So this update was just given last week, so it's very recent. And they said 2 to 3 months from now, which we should be looking at around June, July. Somewhere around June, July, the IPO should be live, and they are planning to launch it in various African countries. So whether you're Nigerian, Ghanaian, Kenyan, just be ready. South Africa, Rwanda, they are planning to launch it in various different African stock exchanges. So including those in the diaspora, of course, you would be able to you will not be left behind, because they're also planning something for international at the international level. So that's for the launching. I wanted to find out. Okay. So we are looking at between June, July. June, July, the IPO, like they said, should be going live. Yeah, you're welcome. So thank you for coming on this live. If you have any other questions, feel free to type it in the comment section. It's a clarity session. So if you're here, you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. Apologies for this new link. I was trying to join using the previous link, the one I set up a week ago, but I had some challenges, so I quickly had to set up this other live so people can still join me. So apologies. And like I was just saying, a lot of people here are beginners. Some people are just trying to invest for the first time in their lives. They don't even know what investing is all about. Don't worry, I've done a video already, and that video is going to come on sometime this week. Do watch it. Is for beginner levels, people who are just beginning, because it's very important that when you're beginning something like this, you understand what you're getting into. The foundation matters. Which stockbrokers is more better to go through. See, what is going to happen is, before the IPO launches, like I said, a prospectus is going to be issued out. A lot of things are going to, Dangote Group, they're going to, bring out a lot of things like telling us they're approved stockbrokers. So there's no one that is better than the other. Just go with what is convenient for you. Of course, if you're in Nigeria, you might want to do it in the manual way. But if you're outside Nigeria, you may not have that luxury to walk to Stanbic IBTC, for example, to say, oh, I want to be registered with you to be able to buy the IPO, blah, 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 blah. So for those people who are not in Nigeria, online platform will be the best for you. And I've already, in that my previous video, I remember I said the NGX, excuse me, the NGS platform would be most appropriate because it's basically online. You can do everything online from it. So you want to go there, create an account, and just wait. You go to the NGS platform and you create an account and you wait. That's for people who want to do it, because that's the official Nigerian exchange website. So Dangote is going to also, tell us their approved brokers. The Dangote group, they are definitely going to give us their approved brokers before that time. So we'll know they're already consulting with a few of them, which I've made a video about it. To that video will be going on maybe tomorrow. So I mentioned a few of them: Stanbic IBTC, I think Vetifa, and a few others. So they are going to tell us these are our approved brokers, and any of them will be fine. If you're in Nigeria, good. And if you're outside Nigeria, you should be looking for platforms that are online, like the NGS platform, which is online. I already said it. So no one is more better. All of them are all are all okay, because I mean, before you become a broker in a particular jurisdiction, in any given country at all, you must go through the processes, the laws, the regulations, and all of that. So there's no really, you must meet up to criteria, the quota, what is expected from for that country. So there's no better one. Just look for which one is more convenient for you, depending on the state where you are, and if you want to do things manually or you want to do everything online. So that's what I'm going to say about that. So, any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? Something you're joining from Rwanda, right? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that's for Rwanda, of course. Like I said, Dangote said the IPA is going to go across multiple African countries. So you can buy from whichever African country you are. They are looking at so many African countries for now. So if you're just joining us, thank you so much for coming on this live. I see some people, a few more people have joined us. Thank you so much for coming on this live. And it's a clarity session, like I said. And if you have any question, there's no specific topic. So if you have any questions across any of my videos, feel free. Let me know where you're joining from. What country are you joining from? And then type your questions in the comment section, and I would be picking up those questions and answering them. Okay. You're welcome. Which okay, same last question. If you're here, feel free, type your questions in the comment section. It's a clarity session. It's just for 1 hour. So in the next couple of in just I think around 20 minutes from now, we still have like 20 minutes. So if you're joining us, thank you for joining this clarity section. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, just because a few of my videos have brought a lot and lots of questions and interest, so I decided to do this live session to clarify some things. So if you have any questions about any of my videos, more especially investing and Dangote Refinery IPO, feel free, ask your questions in the comment sections, and I would be picking them up and answering them. Okay, thank you. And for my beginner investors, please, like I said, I have a video coming up this week where I have broken down, in the simplest way, how to invest as a beginner, what instruments, different investment types you could get into. So you want to watch that video. It would give you a good foundation to start with before you putting your money anywhere. I mean, lots and lots of things are coming on this channel. A lot of things we are doing documentaries as well, and we are working on the documentaries as I speak with you about business and investment stories, success stories. We want to know how some of these people have made it, especially someone like Dangote. How has he been able to um, navigate the Nigerian market and the challenges of doing business in Nigeria? So that's a documentary that I am really, really passionate about, and I'm working on it. So, I mean, for most of us that are thinking of investing in the Dangote IPO, I did mention that a lot of my videos are coming on this week, and that's why it sounds like I'm a bit ahead of myself. So I did mention that one of the things you need to look out for before you invest is leadership, the administrators. Who are these people running this company? Because we need to look at their antecedents and their past. How have they performed in the past? You don't want to put in your money in something that I mean, there are people who actually make money for people, and there are people who they don't, they are not really into making money for people. They are just after making money for themselves. So we want to dig deep. We want to dig deeper. We want to know them. We want to understand what they stand for. So I want to carry my audience, my community along, and let them see the bigger picture before investing. So I'm working on a few documentaries, you know, to peep into the lives of some of the most successful people in our society, especially like from African descent. Let's know how they navigated the challenges. Let's know how they succeeded. You want to know like their past antecedents, their histories before you put in your money, and especially when it comes to things like stocks and their companies and shares and all of that. Did you say I can be able to get my CSCS account number? No, you can't get your CSCS account number from the NGS platform itself. And that's because when you're trying to register in the NGS platform, it's going to ask you for CSCS number, assuming that, so it's already assuming that you have it, that you are a previous investor and you have it, and it's going to ask you to impute that number. So you want to go through, that was why I mentioned Bamboo. You want to go through Bamboo. The Bamboo app, I don't think that they are going to be able to sell or put up the IPO, because I mean this is like and this is an IPO, of course. That's the initial public listing. It's not just like when you list shares. I don't want to go ahead of myself, but with these explanations, but I don't think the Bamboo app will be able to grant access to the IPO. Let me put it that way. So you want to just go through the you want to just go through the IPO, sorry, the Bamboo app, register with them. When you complete your registration, Bamboo is going to generate a CSCS number for you automatically. So with that, you already have your CSCS number. You can now go back to the NGS platform and go through the process. Then once they ask you to impute that CSCS number, you just copy from Bamboo and put there, and that's it, and you're done. So must I buy Dangote shares through NGX? No, no, you mustn't buy through the NGS, especially if you're in Nigeria, like I said. You can go through other stockbrokers, which Dangote is going to confirm before it goes live. Dangote is going to, they are going to tell us a list of, right now they've given us a list. Let me see if I can just, they've given us a few people they are working with. Let me see if I can pull out those names. But I'm very sure of Stanbic IBTC. You can go to the Stanbic IBTC and tell them you want to subscribe to the IPO once it comes on, and they are going to guide you and put you through. Let me just pull out that information. Where do I have it? Where do I have it? Okay, I think I've seen something like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Dangote Group have already appointed advisors, and some of the names they've mentioned, these are brokers, verified brokers. They have Stanbic IBTC Capital. I don't know if you can still hear me. If you can hear me, if you cannot hear me, just let me know, please. If you can hear me, let me know. If you cannot hear me, also let me know in the comment section. So they have Stanbic IBTC Capital, they have Vertival Advisory Services, they have First Cap. So they've identified these three. These are brokers in Nigeria. And I don't know if they deal online. I'm not too sure, but I know that Stanbic IBTC, have an online platform, but the other ones, I'm not too sure if they have an online platform. So you can go through any of them. You mustn't go through the NGX at all. You mustn't go through any platform I've mentioned. Just, yeah, you're welcome. So we already done, we've done like 40 minutes. We still have like about 15 minutes left. So I'll still wait here in case you have. Okay, yeah, I said we can hear you. Okay, okay. In case you have more questions, feel free, type it in the comment section. Let me know you have. Let me do this. Okay. Okay, so I'm still here. If you have any questions, buying Dangote shares in dollars has to be done through dollar account, right? Yes, of course. If you want to buy Dangote shares in dollars, you have to do it through your dollar account. But um, if you're buying from Nigeria, it means you're using the Nigerian platforms, which will be in Naira, except you're buying from an international platform. Like I say, Dangote themselves, they plan to list it on the international platforms. So if you're buying from any of those international platforms, of course, you need to convert to dollars. And there are different ways you can do this, of course. So that will not be a problem as well. But whether you're buying from dollars or you're buying from Naira, the for now, okay, which international platforms, please? Um, for now, they haven't mentioned any international platforms. They are going to give it to us as time goes on. I think maybe simultaneously with the prospectus. The prospectus is they are going to release a prospectus before the IPO launches. Dangote is going to release a prospectus. The prospectus is like a document that tells us everything about the Dangote refinery and the stock itself, how much people are going to subscribe for, what is what, just everything, just about anything you need to know. It's more like it's like a legal document. So alongside that prospectus, Dangote is going to tell us the platforms. They're going to tell us, how to the approved international brokers. And then from those brokers, you begin to get a clue of, where to, well, whether you're investing in Naira or you're investing in dollars, so they would all still be worth the same thing. The stocks are going to go high the same way. If Dangote is doing well, it's going to, how will I explain? It's going to cut across whether you invested in Naira or in dollars. And if Dangote shares is falling, if the Dangote refinery shares is falling, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to affect both international and both those that subscribe in Naira. So it's all going to be the same thing. There is no difference, or there will be no difference whatsoever. So investing in dollars doesn't make it doesn't make you more profit. That's what I'm saying. If Dangote shares is worth 150, or let me hype it a bit. Let me take it up a bit. So if Dangote refinery group comes out and tell us one of their share is worth 300 naira. So it's the equivalent of it you're going to see in dollars. So people are not going to be buying 300 naira because it's in naira, and then in dollars they are buying for 50 lesser. No, it's the same thing, the same equivalent. If Dangote shares is going up the same way it's going up, the equivalent of it in dollars, that's just what you're going to get. So you're not going to be making more money because it's in dollars. If Dangote shares is losing, maybe they are losing some money, the same way it's going to affect across all platforms. So that's something you should have in mind. So there won't be like different prices here and there. That's just all I'm trying to say. Somebody said, why are you giving us this information, please? What do you stand to gain? Mr. Entertainment. Thank you so much for coming on this live. Where are you joining from? Could you please let me know? And I am not representing any Dangote group themselves. I am someone who is very passionate about business and investments. So if you check my platform, my channel, it's all about business ideas and empowering people in terms of business. I see that for me, I'm passionate about Africa. Africa is suffering a lot. A lot of people don't even know things about investments. A lot of people don't know a lot about business ideas, what to do to break out of poverty. The data shows that on a monthly basis, 60% of Nigerians live on less than 100,000 naira every month. And that statistics, data cannot lie. Thank you, Lagos, Nigeria. The data cannot lie. So when I see some of these things, it actually aches my heart. It pains me deeply. How can in 2026 more than 60% of Nigerians, and this is just Nigeria, it cuts across other African countries. 60% of a country like Nigeria is living in less than 100,000 naira a month. And I feel like this should not be. And I feel like Africa, I think there's a problem with information. We are not lacking information, but we lack the right information. Our education system has, sort of failed us. People go to school to learn how to become employed. That's how the school system was set up. And over the years, the employments are no longer there. Companies are no longer employing in numbers. Technology have taken over. Things have happened. And for me, I feel like the only liberation that still exists is still business and investment. No matter what you're doing, even if you're employed, you're working in a company, at the end of the day, you collect your money, you save up, you do all manner. If you're not investing, if you're not doing some kind of businesses, that money will still depreciate, because money depreciates. We buy things every day. So I feel like, I had that burden in my heart to sort of being someone that has lived it. I've done, lots and lots of businesses, and like I stated in my description, I've by the grace of God managed to succeed in some of them, and I've seen what works and what does not. I'm also a research based person. I love to do research because I believe in statistics. I believe in data. They cannot lie. So I decided to put out these informations out there for people. So I stand to gain nothing. If I was to gain something, I will tell you, bring your money, let me invest for you. I haven't asked anybody. I've even had people asking me, please, can I send you money? I've had people from the diaspora. I have those messages. Please, can I send you money and then you invest? I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't do that. I don't invest on anybody's behalf. And I'm not representing the Dangote group. I'm not speaking for them. This is just like an opportunity for, all of Africa, all of Nigerians, people in the diaspora, that all of their investments are abroad and they are looking to come home. Some people want to have something at home. Not everything you put abroad. Not everything you keep in another man's land, another man's country. So this is like an open opportunity for all of us. So it's an optional thing. It's not, nobody's forcing you to invest. If you want to invest, you invest. If you don't want to invest, good for you. As for me, as for me, I am going to invest because I'm taking my investment. But then again, when I say I'm going to invest, I'm not going to put all my investments in one. I already mentioned this when I started. I'm not going to put all my investments in one portfolio. So I try to spread out my investment, so that, because investment is garbage in, garbage out. There's risk factor also to consider. So in case anything happens to one, I know that, okay, I can still sleep well knowing that I have other investments out there. So there are other questions coming in. I hope I've answered your questions. I'm not representing the Dangote group. I have nothing to gain. My only concern is to see Nigerians and Africans as a whole come out from the poverty level, the struggling level. Africa, we have a lot. So my hope is to see Africa rise, to see people come out from financial hardship. Yeah. So you say, can you talk about dividend, like when the interest will be coming in? Is it after a month or a year? Very, 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 very valid questions. These are all the things the Dangote group, they will tell us about. So when the prospectus comes out, they are going to tell us, if they are not all companies pay dividends. Not all companies pay dividends. You need to know that some companies, um some companies rely on the growth of the shares. So say, for example, you bought these shares, like I said, I've given an example. You bought these shares at when it was 50, and then this shares something, it rises because Dangote group is looking to expand. They are looking to do so many things. They want to build a very big fertilizer plant, the largest in Africa, if not in the whole world. So they are looking to do so many other things, and that's why they're trying to raise this money, if I understand them correctly. So let's say you buy these shares as at when it was 50, and then it grows, things are expanding, things are happening, and the refinery, the IPO, sorry, the refinery grows, your money grows as well. So if the money, if as and when you bought, a share was 15 naira, and then the share now skyrockets to 300 naira per share, just calculate it by the number of shares you bought. That's your profit. But if they tell us that they are going to also pay dividends, beautiful, good. So we would know from the prospectus, we will know when they release the prospectus, which is the document that will bind all of this. So for now, we don't know if they are going to be paying dividends, or they're only going to rely on the growth of the shares itself for investors. What other question? If they're also going to pay dividends, they will tell us, oh, this dividend is going to be monthly, three times a year, 2 times a year, just like that. They're going to tell us all of those modalities. Thanks for the information. Can someone use 50K to invest? Well, it depends on how much a share. Someone is asking, can someone use 50K to invest? It depends on how much a share is as at the time of its release. It depends. We don't know for now how much Dangote plans to buy a shares, and the minimum amount of shares you can buy. That's why I said we are all waiting for the prospectus, the document that will tell us everything we need to know about this IPO. So for now, we don't know. Dangote might say, oh, each one share, I want it to be worth 500 naira. You can't beat him, you can't question him. He's his company. Dangote can say, oh, I want one share to be worth 1,000 naira, and I want people to buy, people that want to buy from 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 shares. So if a share is 50 naira, it could be 50, it could be 1,000, it could be 500, it could be anything. Is for them to mention. I can't speculate. Like I said, I'm not representing the Dangote group, so I don't know that for now. It is only when they release their documents, then I can be able to interpret it as from my lawyer perspective, because I'm also a lawyer. So I can use my legal knowledge to interpret it for you guys, for my community members. I can also use my business and my investment experience to tell you what this stands, what this represents. So for now, we don't know. Okay. So if Dangote releases the prospectus and they say they want people to buy from 10,000 shares upward, you just do your calculations and you know if your 50,000 naira can buy it. That's just it. So we'll wait. But be rest assured, I'm very sure most of you are already subscribed to the channel. Be subscribed to the channel. You can also follow me on other social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm there. Not much is going on there. I haven't really started posting on those other platforms. I'm focusing on YouTube for now, but you can just follow. Just in a couple of weeks, I would start engaging on those platforms. So you want to be subscribed so that any information that comes out or comes up, I would most definitely share those information on those platforms, please. So. Thank you so much for coming on this live. I am so happy to have all of you in this community. I'm so happy to have you, Mr. Entertainment. Thank you for coming. Adakibe, I hope I'm pronouncing your name well. Thank you for coming on this live. Samson Oyewole. Which other one? Which other person? Am I saying here? I can't even pronounce some of the names. I can't pronounce some of the names. God help me. Edmond Isaac, thank you for coming. Wait again. Adiolu, thank you for coming. So thank you for coming on this live. If you have any further questions, I'm just going to be here. I'm going to be around for just a couple of minutes. This live was supposed to be from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we've already done 1 hour. So I'm just going to be around for a couple of minutes and would call it a day. I truly learned a lot. God bless. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you learned so much. For you that is a beginner, please, I beg you, watch that video. I'm going to tag it properly. So, beginner friendly investment or something, something. So, watch that video. It will really, really help you. I broke down stocks, I broke down bonds, I broke down dividends, all of those terms, what they mean, what they represent. So, and what to look at for before you invest your money in any company, in any stock, any shares whatsoever. So can I? Yes, of course you can private chat me. You can chat me up on Instagram. That's the best place you can find me. Instagram or you. Instagram. But I prefer Instagram. I prefer Instagram. Instagram is quite simple, so you can chat me out on Instagram. The same name, the MVM Hub. Can follow me on Instagram. Chat me up on Instagram.
I just want to talk to you about something. Mommy, what you doing here? What you doing here? Here. Mommy, I just want to talk to you.
I'm coming, okay? I'm on live. I'm coming, okay? Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So yes, I said, what other investment opportunities do you, I don't understand, do you leave? Mom is so busy and he cannot understand it, but I'm so sorry for the interruption. So someone said, what other investment opportunities do you leave? I don't understand. Do I have or do I leave? I don't understand. Please clarify. Let me not answer the wrong question. What other investment opportunities do I leave? Do I have? I mean, there's so many investment opportunities, but I'm very, very careful to put up anything on my platform because the reason why I'm talking about this one is, this has never happened before in Nigeria and Africa. This Dangote refinery is no, don't be sorry. Just reframe your question. Let me understand you better. Okay, do I have? There are so many investment opportunities. I'm very careful, like I said, I'm very careful to mention companies, mention names, telling people to, because like I said, investment is very risky. It's not as you hear them. Some people have lost money through investing as well. Investment is, especially when it comes to stocks, stocks are very volatile, very, very volatile. It could go so high, it could go so low. So for me, I tell people, depending on your money, I don't know how much you have, try and diversify, try and spread out your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't take all your savings, and if that's all your savings in this life, don't take it and put in Dangote Refinery, please. I beg you, please, because anything can happen. When there was this, I'm just trying to remember this company name that put up their shares not too long ago, I think around last year, and people, swept in and invested, and at the end of the day they lost their money, because especially when it comes to IPO is quite volatile. Do you know why? The moment Dangote launches, if you're still here, just listen to this, please. The moment Dangote launches this IPO, a lot of people are going to invest. People have so much money, mad money, in millions, in billions, in dollars. They're going to invest, and their sole purpose of investing for them is business. The same way Dangote wants to do business, Dangote is trying to raise money. Dangote is not, you see, when somebody is selling you something, the person is trying to give you value and collecting your money to do something else, right? So that's what this thing is all about. Dangote is trying to say, come and own a piece of my company, but I need your money because there are other things I want to do that I need money with. So I'm willing to sell you just a fraction, a tiny bit of it. Everything Dangote is selling to the entire public is about 10 to 20% of his refinery. He's looking at just only 10 to 20. So you see, Dangote is still retaining his 80%, him and his family. So giving out 10 just 10 to, so imagine 10 to 20%. Imagine the millions of people all over the world that want to own 10 to, so it's like the tiny fraction of it. That's what you're going to own. So once people do things like this, they want to raise money. And there are also people that come in because they want to make money out of it. For them, it's business. So some people will put in millions. Some people will buy millions of stocks from Dangote. And after buying, they wait when everything closes and they've allocated the shares. Do you know what they do? They immediately begin to resell. So if they bought for 50 naira per share or 100 naira per share, they will now begin to resell their shares and their stocks. Like I said, shares and stocks, they're all the same thing. I explained it in that video. So they will now begin to resell their shares or their stock in the secondary market. And the moment they pull out their money, you understand, from that market, the moment they pull out, shares are going to go down. The shares are going to fall. That's what it means. Because if I put in, let me say I put in 1 billion naira or 50 billion to buy Dangote shares, and somehow I pull out my money, the thing is going to shake now. So many people are going to pull out their money after they buy. But Dangote, I know that the Dangote group, they already know of this thing I'm talking about. So they would also put in measures to make sure that no matter who pulls out, the shares or the stock price does not fall to the point that it will affect they themselves. So there are modalities to this thing. So just bear in mind that investing in stock is risky. The way stocks can go up, and Dangote shares can be selling for 100 naira today, and by tomorrow people are selling it for 200 is worth 200 or 300 naira. So it can go up like that. It can also fall. So if you're where your risk level, what can you tolerate, what can you take before you take all your life savings and all your life investment, all your money you've gathered over the years and put in one investment. If you have money, I always tell people, invest in stocks, invest in land. Federal government, there's what they call federal government bonds. It comes out every month. So you can also buy some bonds from the federal government. Sometimes corporate organizations like companies, private companies, they issue out bonds. Yes, FG bonds. Yes. Are there any FG bonds available now? I will find out, but usually is usually done at the beginning of every month. I will check. I've not really been investing in FG bonds, but they are also very good. They are safe, very, very safe. Nigerian government will not run with your money. People have gotten a lot of returns on bonds. There's company bonds too. Companies do also issue out bonds. So they are safer than stocks because they are telling you, okay, from the beginning, you know what you're up for. They could say, okay, we would give you 10-20% return on your investment after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, depending. So it's less volatile. If you have money, you do lands. I love land so much because it gives me less stress. It doesn't Land doesn't skyrocket like these other things. You can't get rich overnight from just owning a piece of land. What I'm saying land, property, what I'm saying land, and I'm not saying property, is because property is very, 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 very costly to buy now. You're talking about millions. You're talking about 70, 80, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 millions, depending on where and what kind of property you're looking to buy. But lands are cheaper. You can just go somewhere, buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 plots and just leave it there. It doesn't your investment will not skyrocket overnight. But one thing you're sure of is that money is there. And I think I'm going to detail some. Then I'm going to make a video about lands. You're sure that lands appreciate. So if no matter where you buy it, if you bought for, of course, before you buy things like that, you have to do your due diligence. So if you bought this year, 2026, by 2030, you're sure that the price of that land will never be the same. You understand? You're very sure that it will not be the same, but it will not skyrocket you like the way stocks and shares will strike. These other ones they just shoot up. an Nvidia stock has risen in the last 2 years. I don't know if you know Nvidia. In the last 2 years, the stock of Nvidia has risen to almost 2,000%. In the last 2 3 years, Nvidia alone have made people 2,000. Not, you know what is 100% now? When we say 100% of something, so 100% of 50 is 100. So when we now talk about 2,000%, so that's what things like stock and shares can do for you. You can just skyrocket your money, and then if you want to pull it out, if you want to just withdraw your capital and know that, okay, I've gotten my capital and I'm just looking to make my profits over the years from what is left there, or you want to pull out all your money, you know that you've made your money, but they're also risky. Like the way they climb up, they can just go down like that. So we've seen lots and lots and lots of shares that have fallen so drastically beyond repair. So know your risk tolerance. If you have money, spread your investments. That is what I will always say: spread out. Do not invest in just one instrument alone. Say what? Okay, let me take some of these questions here. Are FG bonds available? I've already answered that. I'll find out. I'll check. Just private chat me. Good evening, please. When is the share coming up to the market? Okay, thank you very much, Joel. I see that you're just joining us. Thank you for coming on this live. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I already explained that the Dangote Group, they have told us recently that they are looking to launch the IPO in the next 2 to 3 months. And so that should give us around 2 to 3 months. Ordinarily should be around June, July. So I think they're looking at June, July. They've not given a specific date, but we should all have in mind and bear in mind that they've given us 2 to 3 months from now. They said this last week. So that should be around June, July. So by June, July, if you're thinking of investing in Dangote shares, you should have been ready. When I mean ready, have your money in your account, and probably you must have set up your online account to invest. A lot of people have interest in this IPO, so I'm very sure it's going to be oversubscribed. Like I said, it's going to be oversubscribed. So you want to get in early, buy early, so that you'll be given priority. If it's oversubscribed, what they will just do is, that is what I mean, is more people subscribe for these shares, more people buy these shares than they actually anticipated. So if they have just 10 million shares to sell, and in the end people have bought up to 50 million shares, are you seeing? That is oversubscription. So what they will do is they will end up refunding people. They will just end up maybe the last bit of food that bought, they'll just give them a little, a fraction of it. If you bought, let's say you bought up to 5,000 or 1,000, they can say, okay, let's give it just 500. They'll reduce it because they don't have that amount of shares to give. They'll reduce it, give you lesser shares, and then make a refund to you. And it's going to be automatic via the platform you bought from. So that's why I was in that video I was saying you want to get prepared, so that as soon as it's launching, the same day you're also buying as much as you want. So you want to keep your money ready in your account, so that as soon as it launches, you buy. What? Just a second. So how do you prepare? Okay, somebody said, okay, Adakibe. I hope I'm pronouncing your name very correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. And he said, what is Nvidia? Nvidia is a company, is a US company that they're into chips. They are into making of chips. They are artificial intelligence, computing, graphic, just a whole lot. And a lot of companies depend on them. Companies like Apple, Apple, OpenAI. You know that OpenAI is the owner of ChatGPT. So most of those companies, they depend on Nvidia, and Nvidia is one of those top companies. I mean, it's if it's not the top 10 companies now in the world. It should be the top 20 companies, just the way Apple is and all of that. But they are into artificial intelligence. So I was saying Nvidia shares, it's a US company. Their shares have gone up over the last 3 years up to 2000, percent. So people that bought those shares, they're already having their much return on their investments right now. So if you're buying now for Nvidia, for shares like Nvidia, if you're buying now, you're buying late, but not too late as well. I mean, but as at last week when I checked it, because somebody, one of my mentees wanted to subscribe, wanted to buy the shares, and when I checked it, I think it was around 173. But when he launched, it was maybe $23, 20 something dollars. But as at last week, it was 170 something. So I was just giving like an illustration for people who bought this kind of shares, how much profit they would have made by now. So how do we prepare then? I already have, okay, you already have your CSCS number. Good, beautiful. Like I said, register with NGX. You're asking me if you must go through NGX, and I said no, you can go through any stockbroker of your choice. You can walk into the approved ones I've mentioned, like go to Stanbic IBTC Bank, go to their brokerage session, and sort of, you could register with them. You could just go to them and they will guide you. They'll guide you on how to register through their, either through the manual process or the online process, and you wait for the IPO to be released. So you have your money ready. If you're buying through NGX, I think because it's online, it's going to be easier and simpler. I'm not advertising for NGX at all. I don't know them. They don't know me. We don't know each other. So, but I'm just saying, because it's online, I love things that are digital and makes my life easy. I don't like anything that stresses me. So you want to have your money ready in your personal bank account. As soon as it's announced, I would still bring it on this channel. You want to buy quickly and just wait, because after the purchase period, Dangote is going to give like a period. It's not like when you buy that day, automatically you're seeing your shares. No, you're not going to see your shares approved automatically. So it's going to give like a period. It could be like 1 month period, 2 months, 3 months, and then they'll sit down, they'll begin to allocate those shares according to what people bought. So if you're lucky and you're giving the same number of shares you bought, good for you. But if it's oversubscribed, like I said, they could give you lesser shares and say, okay, take back your money. They'll return your money definitely. Nobody's going to eat your money via the platform you bought from. Okay, you said yes, I'm pronouncing your name well. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask me. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to end this session by 7:30 p.m. By 7:30 p.m. Yes. So I don't know if someone else is going to join us by that time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Like I said, I have some videos coming up. They are like beginner level videos. I'll be posting them this week to it will sort of explain like investing in stocks, shares, what is ETF, S&P 5, just a whole lot of those investing jargons that people do say. So I've sort of broken them down and explained all of those things. So you want to watch those videos and get yourself updated on investing is a beautiful thing. It's actually beautiful. People, I've started investing in the last couple of years, and I've seen a lot of return on my investments. I've seen a lot of return on my investment. The only one I did was that I didn't see so much return was the S&P 500, and I'm also going to make that video, and I'm also going to make that video to tell people why I personally I do not like the S&P 500, um because it's I explained S&P 500. So if you had watched that video now, I will not need to talk so much. I will not go into it anyways. Maybe I'll make the video later and then by then a lot of people have watched the one where I explained it. Then you'll be able to follow me from there. That's the only one I didn't make so much. I just made a little money, just a little money. But all of my investments, which most of them have been international, to be honest and to be fair. So um this is like me also, like many of you. This is like me looking back now to Nigeria, coming say, okay, we have something beautiful, something that is coming up. The Dangote Refinery, it's been much talked about, and this is like Dangote's heart and baby. Dangote will not want it to fall. So why not? Let's just, let's just see how we can also invest in it by diversifying our investment. So investment is good. It will make you lots and lots and lots of money if you invest rightly. You don't, if you invest in the right company, it will make you lots of money. It is good. But if you have money, diversify, do other forms of investments. My other question will be private chartered. Okay, okay, okay. Don't want to talk too much here. You got it out of my mouth. I want to get into the international stock, but don't know how. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just private chat me anytime, any day, and I would guide you. Let's not talk too much here. Just private chat me. But I do not invest for people who I can only just guide you. I don't collect money from people for to invest, because I understand how these things go. So here we have it. Thank you so much for coming on this live. I'm so grateful for having each and every one of you. Thank you. Do ensure that you're subscribed to the channel. Follow me on other social media platforms. I'll be dishing out lots and lots and lots of other things, business ideas, not just investing. There are some good businesses that you can do today or tomorrow, and then get, fast and quick return as well on your investments, even more than the stocks and shares. The only thing is that I know why people run away from business, because business is a bit stressful. You're thinking about a lot of things, from production to logistics and all of that. But it's also a good one to own a business. So um there are lots of things coming on the channel, like I mentioned, documentaries on business success stories and investment stories, how people, especially Africa as a continent. I think for me, I feel like Africa has been overlooked for so long. Not so much is out there. We feel like a lot is out, but for me, I feel like Africa our stories have been suppressed, if I may use that word. Our story have been a bit suppressed. We hear a lot of entertainment. People just want to have jokes and all of that. It's time for us to begin to get serious, take our finances serious, take our business knowledge, investing knowledge very serious. So I'm going to be doing lots and lots of documentaries, documentaries, investment documentaries. So just stay tuned. I'm so glad and happy to have you here today. Thank you so much for coming on board. And that is it. We're going to call it a night. So good night, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just before I go, let me see if I have any other questions. So you know who is yeah, of course, Adakibi. I know. Just message me on Instagram, and yes, message me on Instagram, and we are good. Okay. My username is still the THEMVNHUB. If you just go on Instagram, type it, you're going to see me there, and we are good to go. Like I said, I don't have so much going on there. All of my social media accounts, they are all new. I started fresh accounts for my content creation and my business. So they're all new. So I don't have so much going on there. So don't be scared when you go on there and you don't see any videos or anything. But I'm still the same person. Thank you. So see you next time. Maybe I'll come on live again next week. I don't know, but I'll put it out there. If I'm going to come online, I'll schedule it ahead of time. So thank you so much. All right. Bye.